While the campsites at Disney's Fort Wilderness Resort have much to offer as a full-service camping experience, in this episode I'm going to share with you 7 things you'll either love or hate about Disney's take on camping. Hey everybody, this is John Marucci. Thanks for visiting the On the Road YouTube channel. You know, this channel is all about helping you get the most out of your RPod experience. Before we get going, welcome to the channel. If you're new here, remember to subscribe and hit the bell icon to be notified when new videos are published. If you want to dive deeper, we put more content on Instagram and Twitter at John Marucci. So let's jump in. First thing about Disney's campsites is that there's no campfires. So just remember this if you're thinking about coming down and you're going to do all kinds of camping and campfires. That's not the case at Disney's Fort Wilderness Resort. The only way you can do campfires is with a self-contained fire pit that they approve of, and you've got to go online to their site to figure that out. So the plus of this, I guess, is that you won't have very much smoke around you. So if you're not someone who likes camping with a bunch of fire smoke, that's a plus. Of course, the negative is you're not going to have any fires. So if you're one who likes camping and sitting around the fire every night, it's not probably going to be the experience at Fort Wilderness. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that there's a good distance between transportation and your campsite. So where we stayed recently is at the 1800 loop at Fort Wilderness, and it's a full mile walk from there to the boat all the way down at the dock to go to Magic Kingdom. So that's a pretty good walk, a mile. And it's 3/4 of a mile to go up to the bus depot to catch a bus to other resort parks. So just realize it's a pretty good distance and it's a big place. Now what people do is they can use the internal bus system. In other words, you can go to a local bus stop near your loop and go around. Of course, that takes time. Many people bring golf carts or rent golf carts, and you can rent them from Disney as well as rent them in town and have them brought in, or bring your own. Now if you rent them from Disney, obviously it's going to be pretty expensive. The other thing that people do is they bring their bikes or they rent bikes. Again, if you rent from Disney, it's going to be fairly expensive. And with your bikes, you can get around easier. Now you can't take your tow vehicle everywhere. You can take it obviously to your campsite, and you can take it to the front of Fort Wilderness where the buses are and park there. But you're not going to be able to take your tow vehicle back to where the boat is. So you're going to be taking some other form of transportation to get to the boat to go to Magic Kingdom. Just be aware of that. Now I guess the plus of this is that you can get a lot of exercise, and we did that recently on a stay. We walked pretty much everywhere, and it's a good walk, and you've got to count the time in when you do that. The negative, obviously, it's inconvenient, and it takes a lot of time, and it can actually cost a lot of money, because if you think about renting a golf cart, for example, it's not cheap, and multiply that by how many days you're going to stay at the campsite, and that can be quite expensive. Okay, so the next thing we're going to talk about is pet policy. So pet policy is good if you have a pet. If you want to bring your pet, you can bring a pet to the campsite, but you can't bring a pet if you have a tent or a pop-up trailer. So if you have a regular trailer, sealed trailer, you can bring a pet, and that's great, and Disney allows that, and a lot of people bring their dogs and pets to the campsite. But there's a little bit of a restriction in that you've got to make sure anytime your pet is in public, it's got to be on an 8-foot or shorter leash, and when it's inside the trailer, it's got to be in a climate-controlled area. So they don't just let you leave your pets in there unless you have it climate-controlled. And there are actually pet-friendly loops that you can rent and stay in. But be aware that there's a $5 per night fee for your pet at Disney's Fort Wilderness. And one of the nice things is they actually have a really nice pet run area, etc. Okay? So the pluses here is that Disney is pet-friendly and realizes many people have pets who travel with trailers. So that's a good thing. But the negative, obviously, is it costs something and is fairly restrictive in terms of what you can do with your pet. Okay, now the fourth thing we're going to talk about is laundry facilities. So Disney has really nice, clean laundry facilities located at each comfort station. Now the comfort station is basically public bathrooms and showers. And they have laundry facilities at each one of these comfort stations. And they have a nice web app that you can look at and see whether the laundry machines are full or not, so that you don't just tote all your laundry up and find out they're all full. And that web app will show you some of those things so you can know what to do. One of the things to realize is that those laundry machines are pretty clean. They do keep stuff clean at Disney, and they're in good working order. And you can actually receive text messages when your laundry is complete, etc. So it's pretty high tech in terms of laundry machines. And it also makes it fairly easy to see what's going on before you even head out. Now the other thing is they do accept credit cards and debit cards, so you can use that versus having to get coins, etc. Of course, it's Disney, so realize it's not cheap. Now, to use the washer, it's going to cost you $3 to do one load. Dryer is between $2.75 for 55 minutes and $3.25 for 65 minutes. So you're probably going to drop about $6 per load that you do, and that can get expensive quickly. All right, but they do have vending machines there that you can buy laundry detergent and fabric softener, etc. So the pluses here is that you do have laundry facilities. They are clean and available and convenient. Obviously, the negative is it's not cheap. All right, the next one we're going to talk about, number 5, is location. So the nice thing about Fort Wilderness, if you've ever been here and if you're looking at it, it's very close to Magic Kingdom, which is like the main theme park at Walt Disney World. And you can just hop on a boat and go over there. You have easy access to the fireworks. Like every night when the park's about to close, they do fireworks. You can actually watch them down by the boat dock. Without even going to the Magic Kingdom park, you can see them quite clearly. They also have, almost every night, they have like an electric water pageant show, nighttime water show, which is quite nice. And also nearby are Run Disney events. If you're a runner, you can get to those easily at Epcot across the street there. So the nice thing about the location is very convenient. Fort Wilderness is really nice and tight into the main areas of Magic Kingdom and some of the parks here. The negative is it's loud and noisy. Okay, it's not a quiet park. You're not out in the wilderness, unlike the name. You're not out in a real wilderness. You're pretty close to a lot of the action, and you're going to hear a lot of noise. Okay, the next 6th thing we're going to talk about is reservation window. So you're going to love this or hate this. If you're a good planner, you're going to love it because you can reserve these slots up to 499 days ahead of time. So that's a really good benefit. If you're into planning, you can plan to get some of your sites locked in way ahead of time, but that's only if you call the number to reserve or you work through a travel agent. You're not going to find that online, by the way. Okay, so that's really good in terms if you're a planner. Obviously, it can be difficult to book if you don't plan. Actually, Fort Wilderness is very difficult to get in for long periods of time, any more than a couple days. So the pluses here is if you're a planner, you're going to love it. You can book way ahead of time and plan out. If you're kind of a free adventurer, it's going to be really tough to get in here. Okay, the 7th and final item we're going to talk about, love or hate, is the check-in, check-out times. So you can check into Fort Wilderness pretty early at 1 p.m., unlike most state parks, which is like 3 p.m. And you'll also check out early, unfortunately, which is at 11 a.m. versus most places like 1 p.m. So this is really good if you're an early arriver, you want to get started early, you can get here right at 1 p.m. and get going, have a lot of the day left. The negative here is if you're a late starter, late sleeper, you like to sleep in the morning, take it easy, you're going to have to get out pretty quick to be actually out and clear the site by 11 o'clock. So just be aware of that. That's some of the pluses and minuses of the checkout time. Okay, so those are the 7 things. Hopefully you enjoyed them. Again, if you like this video, make sure you share it and give it a thumbs up. I invite you to share also your comments. Some of you have stayed at Fort Wilderness many times. You have some other pluses and minuses that you can add to the ongoing conversation. We'd love for you to do that. And anyway, thanks for watching. This is John Marucci, and so long for now.